Thanks very much, Julie.
Very pleased to be here from the Coalition of Resistance to speak about our work and to speak about the work that we have to do with the Right to Work campaign and what we have to build. Egypt, obviously, is a massive inspiration. I think that's changed the world, and it's certainly changed the terms under which we work. Yesterday in Egypt, they say, there were 18 million people on the streets, and that was before Mubarak fell. 18 million people brought onto the streets in 18 days. And I think that if the Egyptians can do that, given what they faced in Egypt, the hundreds of people who gave their lives for that revolution, we can certainly bring down this government. We can certainly build a movement that will bring down the government. I want to just say what unites the Coalition of Resistance and the Right to Work, because it's very important. We need to build the strongest possible unity between our campaigns, and we are beginning to do that. We have entered into agreements and joint actions, and I'll say something about those joint actions. Today, Ken Clarke said this. He said, I think the government may be in some difficulty, I think were his words, may be in some difficulty when people recognise the extent of the cuts that they are facing. Well, that is our job, to make people realise the extent of the cuts that they are facing. And that is what we have to do together. We're committed to do things in the immediate future to building with Right to Work. We're committed to building a massive budget day protest on March the 23rd, which will be 3 days before the TUC demonstration, which I think will be tremendously important. I think we can actually bring thousands of people to the streets in central London, to Whitehall. Stop the War, CNT and others will be involved in that. That is absolutely essential, and that's one of the things we're doing. We're also going to be building together and have launched a call which is going out on Monday from CORE, the Right to Work, Unite and others for an international conference against the cuts. But the crucial test for us all will be March the 26th, will be the numbers that we can bring out onto the streets on March the 26th. Now, what unites the Right to Work and the Coalition of Resistance is that, and I have to say this because it's the opposite has been said, or not the opposite, but it's been questioned in some quarters, both organisations are opposed to all cuts that are taking place now. But we both realise that the broadest anti-cuts movement has to be built by fighting and working with those who do not yet recognise that that is their position. That is how we will win them to that position, and that is essential for us too. Some cuts, of course, we do support. Some cuts we do support. If you were to say to me, would you cut Trident? Yes, we would cut Trident. 20 billion we'd say. If you would say, should we cut the war in Afghanistan? Yes, we would cut the war in Afghanistan. 30 billion over 5 years. And if you would say, would we cut bankers' bonuses? Yes, we would cut bankers' bonuses. 60 billion over 5 years. And Bob Diamond, you will see on Monday, is going to get his £8 million. 8 million for Bob Diamond, and you've heard from Chris Banbury that they can't even provide the most basic services for people in our society. But finally, what unites the Coalition of Resistance and the Right to Work campaign is that we recognise that the main enemy is this government, and jointly we need to build a movement to bring it down. That's why we need unity between the pensioners, the workers, the unemployed and the students. And I think we need at this conference, as we have at others, to say a special thanks to the students who have opened the path for us. They are made of the same stuff as the young elderly. Alfie Meadows, who suffered brain surgery. Josie McIntyre, thrown out of his wheelchair by the police. We had, but it's important for us that the pensioners don't fight alone. So I have a very brief letter that the students don't fight alone. A very brief letter that we received in the offices of the Stop the War Coalition last week, and it was from Pete and Mavis, and it said this: I and my wife will be on the above demo on March the 26th, and after watching how the police clobbered those at the student demonstration, we wondered if it may be better if the oldies were at the front and see if the brave riot police would use their batons on